We've been traveling around targeting the biggest walleyes that swim now for the last couple months. Look at that fish. What an absolute beast, dude. Wanted to bring this challenge back home to my own backyard. It's just a numbers game to get to that one special fish. Is it even conceivable that we could truly catch the one out of a tiny northern Wisconsin lake? That something magical could happen today. I think there might be something to this. How do you describe something that's almost impossible? I'm starting to wonder if it's the kind of deal where these fish really aren't in here anymore. Unattainable. This emphasizes that the goal is beyond reach. Little lake, dude, giant walleye, look at that thing. You know how rare this is in a tiny little lake like that? Improbable. This highlights the low likelihood of success. Yep. This is gonna be a big fish, I think. It's a tank. That feels big. Yes. You know, we've been on a pretty good roll the last few hunt for the ones. Been to South Dakota, Michigan, Minnesota. We've achieved the goal, caught a 30-incher each destination we've been to. I think it's time we tackle our most difficult challenge we may ever try to do. Now, I'm fortunate enough to live in an area where you can throw a pin at a map and there's hundreds of lakes. Now, if we do the math on this, about half these lakes probably have walleyes in them. So that cuts down about half the lakes. Now, if we're truly gonna go for the rarest fish that lives in northern Wisconsin, that number is gonna get cut down as far as the possible lakes we can fish to probably, realistically, about 4 or 5 actual lakes that have a sliver of a chance to even containing the fish in which we're after. So although I have more time on the water, and I'm probably more keyed in on what these fish are doing on this video, this is unquestionably going to be the most audacious challenge I have ever attempted to do. I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but the probability of it happening is almost 0. But if you're truly gonna go out looking for the one, I mean, you're talking about circling up about 80 lakes in an area and saying this fish, there might be 2 fish. 2 of the fish we're after in all of this water. So what I'm looking for is a little different than what I look for on just a normal walleye lake, right? I want to see a bell curve towards that 24 plus inch range. So what we're attempting to do here is siphon through all of these lakes, looking at DNR surveys, and picking out the ones that have this big fish potential. Our first actual lead here. Victim or suspect has been acquired on paper at least. An estimated 71% of walleyes were 15 inches or longer. The largest walleye captured was 30.2 inch female. And look at that. What a freak. What an absolute freak. 29.7. From 2023, so if he's still alive, he could potentially be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lakes in which I think have potential to produce this fish. Now, this is obviously according to the DNR from surveys, so that's kind of all I really have to go off of here. 435. And the biggest fish sampled was 29. Lake number 2, they estimated this at 3 adult fish per acre, and the biggest fish was 30.2. Lake number 3, density of 1.2 per acre, was 28.7. But I really liked the bell curve on this lake. 1,200 acres, big fish 28.5, got a density of 1.1 adult per acre. Lake 5, so what I've done is I basically added up every walleye that lives in one of these lakes. And this is gonna be a little bit of a skewed kind of number, but how many actual 30-inch fish out of these alleged fish were surveyed? Now, based on these numbers, we have a 2 and 14,733% chance of catching a 30-incher, which is a little sobering, to be honest. Yo.
Talking to Goose.
Hit me with this. What is the likelihood of catching that there could be a 30-inch fish in lake?
Slim to none.
Really?
Yeah.
I
think you got a better shot.
It's gonna be slim to none everywhere. Well, I found a couple surveys from like a few years. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, so it could have all changed. But
they were all big. There was big fish in that lake. Yeah, no surveys.
Yeah, 28, 29.
Yeah.
You're telling me you think they're gone?
And they were all just your average walleyes kind of thing.
Damn.
So.
Well, I'm going there right now, for better or for worse.
But that's a big deep basin pitch there, baby.
That's what I like. That's what the big fish like. Well, here we are. Little lake. There's not a lot of like structural looking stuff, but it does get 60, 70, 80, 90 feet deep in the middle. That's what you see. A lot of times these little lakes that have some real deep water got potential. So, oh, here's a weed edge right here. It's a decent looking weed edge right there. A lot of times these small lakes, I'll look for walleyes in 2 different spots, either weed edge fish or I'll look for them at pretty much basin. Sometimes deep rock can play in some of these little lakes, but more times than not, it's either weeds like this or like deep rock structures. Look at this right here off the bat. See that right there? This right here? That honestly looks pretty dang good right off the bat. See that? There's another pot of them right over here. Are they going to be just all bass? Or you think they'll be walleyes? I mean, we might as well just start fishing, right? There's clearly fish here. Now, in northern Wisconsin, that can pretty much reign supreme on many bodies of water. We got that. We got a gold search bait with. We got a gold pendu jig. A little bit of everything. But it'd be really doing something wrong not to just chuck a slip bobber at these fish and see what happens right away. Wow. Right there. Gonna be a bass, yep. Not a walleye, not a walleye. Gonna have a lot of this going on these lakes. Largie. All right, we're not gonna waste our leeches on the largies. Well, we know what those fish are in the weed edge. We're gonna keep putting because obviously I'm not gonna burn. Oh, my night crawler's on one pot of largemouth. All right, weed edge number 1. Just bass on it. All those fish kind of looked about the same, kind of going up and down. If you see them really like going up and down a lot in the water column before you cast, high likelihood that they are probably bass. So I think my next move is, obviously we calculated, or the DNR calculated, there's about 100 walleyes in here. So we're gonna look for something deeper, get off this weed edge pattern, go look for some deeper water, see if we can't find a rock or like a deep sand point or something like that, as it is midsummer. Way out here, dude, over the basin. If this is a walleye, it could be big. I think it's a big smallie though. He's a nice bass. Not a tank. A lot of these lakes are gonna hold low numbers big walleyes are also gonna hold low numbers giant smallies. That's not a giant, but that's a 18 and a half, 19 incher. Got him right here. This could be a walleye. Right there. Big smallies. Out in the basin, dude. That's what we got here so far. Thinking this is right off the end of a point. I was just kind of looking at this one little rock weed area. It's the thing with a lot of these little lakes, dude. You never know. Look how far down he ate that Pendu jig. Starting to wonder if it's the kind of deal where these fish really aren't in here anymore. Come on, show me something. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at that. Big lip right here, high knob. Look at this outside ridge right here. If you see something like this on the graph right here, that is a walleye sweet spot right there. It's another, you can see how it's almost black right here, dumping off. Boat's sitting in 15 feet. It's kind of rocky, gravelly. Couple fish scattered in here. Here's one right here. Couple fish scattered in here. But if you see a ridge like this right here, it's somewhere where you have a point that goes out and then it just like creates a knob and drops off. That is walleye summertime candy, right? I mean, that's like the spot on the spot on the spot right there. We gotta get a waypoint down on this here. Yeah, they're right there. They're loaded on it. We're gonna hit them with a slip bobber. Yep, right here. This has to be a walleye. Right there. Dude, it's big too. That feels big. Right off that little rock point. Come on, baby. Don't jump. Be a big walleye. Be a big walleye. Come on. Come on. Dude, this could be big. This could be big. This 100% is gonna be a walleye. Come on, dude. It's the first like good looking rock I found. Look at this thing just going. Holy smokes, dude. And I was thinking like, dude, there's gotta be one in here. But so many times these, dude, this could be big. It's a walleye, it's a big walleye. It's a big walleye, dude. Come on, come on. Look at him, oh my goodness, dude, is that a tank? It's a tank. Little lake, dude, giant walleye, look at that thing. Holy smokes, dude. Look at the build on that walleye. Holy cow. Holy smokes, dude, on the slip too. Yes. First walleye on one of these little tiny little lakes, man. Certainly low numbers. Oh my goodness, dude, is that a tank out of a little lake like this? What a big fat walleye, dude. Holy smokes, is that fish built well. Look at that walleye, dude. For a little lake like this, are you kidding me? What a tank, dude. I gotta measure him quick. See where we're at. 26 and a half, which isn't bad. I mean, that's like, the build on that fish is really what's selling me. What a heavyweight walleye out of a little lake like this. Oh my gosh. That's like the thickness of a Lake of the Woods walleye right there. Oh, come here, girl. You're gonna be just fine. You're only like 15, 16 feet down. Oh my gosh, dude. Yes! That was right on that big rock knob too. Right where we saw that on side imaging, we were like, boom, look at that. I think there might be something to this. I gotta get back to that little knob though, because there was a couple others there. Yep. Right there, got him. It's gonna be another big fish, dude. Big head shakes. Don't be a bass. Look at this, just heavy. Heavy. Oh my goodness, you guys. Did we stumble on like the spot? I mean, this is just weight. Look at this. It's gotta be a big walleye, right? There's no way this is a smallmouth. This is the big slip bobber rod too. This is the 8-foot sharpshooter. It's just literally going around the front of the boat. Come on. Come on, be a big walleye, dude. He's just straight down. Look at this thing go. Big head shakes, dude. Big head shakes. This thing's going on like a 10-pound walleye run right here. You guys probably think this is a joke, like I've fished this lake a bunch before. Never been out here. I don't even know what to say. It's almost like it's coming up to jump though. Could it be just a tank smallmouth? Dude, it's fighting too much like a walleye. Come on, baby. Come on, just got back to that point. That was the first cast on it. Come on. Come on. It's gotta be a big walleye. It's still going. Look at this thing, dude. Oh my gosh. I'm speechless. I mean, I'm not fighting this fish soft, dude. It just won't stop going. Oh my goodness. What do we have on here? Come on, come on, come on. I don't know what to say, man. I can see him right there. He's 16, 20 feet down. Come on, come on. We're gonna see him right here. Get the net ready. I am in disbelief right now at what is happening right now. I mean, come on. You can see my slip bob or not. He's 12 feet down. I don't even know what to say right now. If this is it, I mean, this is what it feels like. It's another tank walleye. It's a tank. Look at him, dude. Oh my goodness, dude. These fish are so well built. Insane, dude. Beasts. Absolute beasts. I cannot believe this. Cannot believe how heavy these fish are. Slip bobber, that Kalen's finesse jig hooked just perfect right in the lid of his mouth here. Oh yeah, he was never gonna come off. Look at these tiny lake walleyes. Oh my goodness, dude. Another cookie cutter. 26.5. Is this the same fish? I don't even know what to say, man. This is insane. Oh my goodness, dude. Look at these things. Look how much of a handful they are. That is absolutely insane. Oh my goodness, dude. What is going on? Is there like one point in the lake where there's just tanks sitting on it. All we're doing is taking this is the 8-foot slip bobber rod. Middle of summer, I really like this one because I can pair it with that bigger 1/2 ounce bobber and the 1/2 ounce weight and really throw it far, and it gets down to those fish fast if they're moving. We're only fishing in like 20 feet of water and putting this bait down, you know, 12, 14, 15 feet and just trying to drop it right on them. But they're kind of wiggling around somewhat quick out here. I can also throw this bobber a lot farther. Right back into this big stack here. Holy smokes, dude, it's already down. I was looking for it and I was like, right there. That's not as big, head shakes tighter. Did he just feel big for a second? Or feel small for a second? That's another walleye, yeah, I was right though. It is in that 20-inch-ish size. Holy cow, man. What a little gem this place is, huh? I mean, extremely low numbers. I ran most of the lake before I saw a pot of fish. Beauties. Look at those things. And man, is there ever a stack right there. Most time I don't catch big walleyes in stacks of fish. But on these little tiny pothole lakes, I can totally see it. You know, they just can sit right there. First issue here, we might have to find another way to catch them in a minute or two because I'm starting to run low on leeches already. I shouldn't have fed the leeches to the bass when I saw them. Got him right there. That thing hit it a couple times, dude, and kept dropping it. Unbelievable, dude. Big head shakes. I mean, just staying down, man. Look at him. Holy cow. He's not a 30. For a tiny little lake like this, dude, such a nice fish though. I mean, this is the top end. This is the top end of fish. Got him. Wow, dude. I am in amazement. At number one, those couple first really big ones, but the build on these things is crazy, dude. It's crazy. I fished a new lake probably about a month ago. And this lake kind of reminds me of that lake. It's very kind of similar in the way the fish kind of relate, it feels like. Beauties, man. You don't catch. Look at that. We were talking about those fin clip DNR fish. Look at that right there. There's one of them right there. Fin on this side, fin clipped on this side. There we go. He's one of our surveyed fish right there. We caught up to him. See you later, buddy. Back down he goes. Well, my best spot finally burned out. It's definitely one of those spots I can probably swing back and look again. But I do want to look at some other areas of this lake. I mean, there's not much. There's just a couple of these little points. Obviously, that one had that big knob on it and was quite obviously going to be good. Oh my gosh. I almost don't even believe what I'm looking at right now. This might be the best thing I've seen in like forever here. So, oh my gosh. All walleyes right here. 100% guaranteed. Big too. Can you guys see this off this side? Big school of walleyes right here. Oh my goodness. We gotta drop some waypoints here. I'm in disbelief right now. We gotta catch those fish. Basically what happened here, I caught those first couple fish right here, seemingly on a little high spot that's not mapped. And then I drove over this, and it says it's 25 feet deep. Or it said it was 35 feet deep when I drove over right here. And I just looped around the back side of this, and it actually comes up to a high spot right where these two red icons are. So that point kind of dips out. It's actually a hump, but a lot of times in these little lakes, they're not mapped totally accurate. Oh my goodness, dude. We have so few leeches left though. Oh my gosh. They're right out there at the end right now. Crank this out a little bit. Oh my gosh. I gotta circle around, get back upwind. Down right here. Got him. Feeling good too, feeling good. Wow, dude, am I ever sitting on a ginormous school of fish. Really unfortunate though that I'm almost out of leeches. Not good, not good at all. We haven't got a 30 yet, but I am totally convinced it's possible. Totally convinced it's possible with this quality of fish. Got him. I'm not gonna lie, I'm half tempted. Today's a Friday. Tomorrow's gonna be crazy busy everywhere, except for little tiny potholes like this. I'm half tempted to go home tonight, tell Shelby we're coming out here tomorrow, load up on big leeches and just camp on them. Because with this quality, dude, I mean, I know we're talking about a very rare fish here, but I mean, these are this is the right caliber. They fight so hard, they almost fight themselves out. It takes them a second. Water's only 71 degrees. But look at this screen here. Look at all of these walleyes littered on this big rock point. For the record, this is not how I would prefer to fish. Just sitting here, waiting for a slip arbor to go down, surrounded by dozens and dozens of walleyes. I just don't have a better thing to do right now. I mean, there's so many here, dude. I'm like convinced. I don't know what I'm convinced of. Oh, bobber's down. I cannot believe I hooked that one. And it's feeling big. That's how long my bobber was out there. Is that I had so much slack in it. This is literally my last leech. I got nothing left, but it feels like a horse. It feels like an absolute horse, dude. Unbelievable, man. Yeah, I'm chucking literally everything I got in the boat, which isn't a lot because I didn't bring a lot, because I didn't think I'd need a lot. And all I can get bit on for a walleye is a jig and a leech. Smallies, anything. Walleyes, slip bobber, jig, leech. Oldest trick in the book. Come on. I mean, it's big. It's big, dude. This is unbelievable, man. A little bit of research, a little bit of driving around the lake, just looking for something a little bit different. And we're just on bigs. Where you at, buddy? Another super nice walleye, man. It's almost deceiving because these fish are so fat that how hard they're fighting, they feel like they're all could be, 28, 29 inches long. Unbelievable, man. Such quality fish. And look how pretty they are. I mean, they're just absolutely like the most perfect walleyes you've ever seen in your life. I'm in disbelief. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say, man. That is pretty dang good fishing right there. Now that I'm out of leeches, I honestly think the best use of my time. I mean, I could just sit there and just keep peppering that school and maybe something would happen. But I think honestly a better use of my time, since I know I have to come back here tomorrow, I mean, I should anyways, is honestly just to do some auto charting. So I can just get all this kind of filled in here, see how it all lays out. Obviously I'm gonna be much better off. This map's not quite 100% accurate, so at least with like the Explorer, I can just jog these areas real quick. It's not gonna take me too long of a time. I'll be able to map this all out really well. All right, look at this, just with a little bit of driving here. If you're not familiar with auto charts, obviously Humminbirds, you can just map the bottom here. Pretty simple to do on here. You just come over, find auto chart, do this one, select record. So now I'm kind of done recording this for now. All right, so now I'll turn it off. And just in a little bit of driving. So here's what this spot looked like. Here's where I caught the first couple, here's where I caught the last couple. So let's go ahead and fill this in quick here. We'll come over here to Auto Chart Live, select that. We want to show the Auto Chart Live. Now let's zoom in on some of this and I'll show you guys basically. Look what this actually looks like. So this is the knob where I caught the first two. It's that little bouldery edge right there. And then this is actually an isolated hump out here. So it's not a point at all. And the first time through here, I must have just drove right through the middle and just completely missed it. Good things and bad things happen today. Number one, probably spent 6 or 7 hours out there, honestly, but probably 4 of that was just driving around, either auto charting there at the end or just driving around not seeing fish at the beginning or going too slow, casting at bass. I don't know how many bass I caught. Good news is, found a lake that has a quality of fish. I'm convinced with how fat and healthy those fish are that there could possibly be a freak in here. Bad news is, all I could get them on was slipbobber and leech. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna come much more prepared. We're gonna be much more dialed in, did all that auto charting, plotted 2 or 3 spots that look like they got tons of potential. And we are going to camp on those fish tomorrow morning. Hopefully what's gonna be a good bite window. So day 1 of the Hunt for the One Northern Wisconsin edition. Nice fish were caught, really nice fish were caught. Tomorrow, we're really gonna dial it in and play with them. So stay tuned, tomorrow morning, we resume the Hunt for the One Northern Wisco edition. You know, you get up here in these little Northwoods towns and it's always kind of, I mean, it's where I live, right? In one of these little Northwoods towns, and it's boom and bust. In the winter, a lot of these towns shrink down, you know, 1,000 people, maybe less. April, May rolls around, you start seeing cabin country folks start coming back up. And through the middle of summer, June, July, August, it's full-on tourism boom up here. And everyone comes up here for all of these same little lakes in which we're chasing trophy walleyes in. Well, yesterday went out back to our lake, right? Back to the first lake we fished. Took Shelby with, was gonna edit it up and turn it into a video, but I didn't see that next class of fish. We caught nice fish. It was arguably even better than the first day, as far as like numbers maybe go. We just didn't build on that average size at all. Wanted to try lake number 2 on the list. A little bit bigger lake, a lake I've actually fished before. We got like this impending thunderstorm that's supposed to just, giant front that's supposed to hit sometime this afternoon, and that we could potentially deal with an absolute freak today. So stay tuned, a little drive to the lake yet, and you know, fingers crossed that something magical could happen today. All right, we have arrived. Now on the drive over here this morning, I was thinking about a trend you guys are gonna see in the lakes we're fishing. Number 1, depth. They have a lot of depth to them. A lot of these lakes are 100 feet deep, 75 feet deep, 95 feet deep. Those are kind of outliers for this area. A lot of the lakes are like 20, 25 foot basin. Shallow weed edge, tea-stained watercolor. Not to say there can't be a big fish in those lakes, but what you see is, to grow big fish, it's very hard to do off of a bluegill population or a small perch population. You need some kind of big greasy bait fish. Now in northern Wisconsin, a lot of these lakes you can hope for Cisco's is kind of the main thing. A lot of them are gonna be like 6 to 8 inches long, 5 to 8 inches long, maybe bigger on some lakes. And that's a lot more rich in nutrients, I believe, and the fatty stuff that those fish need to get big. So a lot of these same lakes we're fishing have the biggest smallmouth, the biggest walleyes, the biggest muskies. Now, where do these big Cisco's live in the summer? Out here over the abyss. So all we're really gonna do here is just keep driving around and looking for where we see the most bait in this lake out over deep water. Now, one thing I've seen a lot, it's in the morning right now, it's like 8 a.m., rain just stopped. A lot of times that bait might be low at this time of day. It might be down there 40, 50, 60, 70 feet down in the water column. And those walleyes know that. So a lot of times they'll just sit up above that bait, waiting for it to come up throughout the day. Yeah, look at this right here. This is something you see happen a lot. This is the stuff we like to see. Look at this right here, 2D and down imaging. What you're seeing here is, this is soft bottom. See, the red does not go down very far. This is hard bottom right here. The red comes down very far. What do you see directly above that line? Look at this clouds of stuff as I came into here. This is what I like to see. Now, some of this is gonna be bug hatch, some of it's gonna be bait. But you don't get this amount of biomass somewhere. And if you actually look down here in some of this deeper water here, you see some of this arcing down here, down real deep. Exit out of that here. That's kind of like those Cisco's that'll be down in that real deep water right when we hit this transition. So we're gonna start here. The goal is just to blitz as much water as humanly possible and hunt a real big fish down. We're gonna get all sorts of juicy stuff out today. Definitely gonna be one of those days where we're just gonna load the deck with rods. Basin fishing, like we're gonna be doing, you always gotta have one of the ultra finesse deals on. 1/8 ounce Kalen's Pendu with the full crawler on there. Gotta have a search bait ready to go. We're rocking a 3/8 or a 5/8 ounce and all purple today. It's been a good color for me on these clear lakes up here. We got a shiver minnow tied up. We got a jig flukes tile bait tied up. And then one thing I have had good luck on up here, when these low numbers fish are keying in on big bait, is throwing a big giant, like 7 or 8, 9-inch swim bait. So we always got one of those rigged up on a bait caster, which we may have never even have showed that on a YouTube video before, but we'll drop the old Mega Live 2 here and start hunting. And a lot of times what you can do out here, so obviously I'm not seeing the bottom right now. Now if I drop this down, you can obviously see the bottom at, how deep are we in? We're in like 60 something-ish feet here, 55 feet. What you're seeing right there is a temp line at about 26, 27 feet of water on the graph. And the more I crank this up, the more that temp line is really gonna pop out at you. A lot of times what you're gonna see is that's a thermocline, and those walleyes are gonna be sitting right above that. And that's a lot of times how I set my depth. So I don't care about seeing to the bottom. If I set mine about like that, that's gonna be about perfect for me right there. I'm looking just at that temp line up right now. So I'm not pitching at fish that are 50, 60 feet down. I'm pitching at fish that are 25 feet down or less out here. Right here, mark number 1. Search bait, engage. Oh, buddy, you're big. I had him going so good there, and he just kind of stalled. Yep, right there. Big. Feeling pretty big. Search bait number 1. That's a good fish, or at least it looked pretty good. That was mark number 2. Threw the search bait at him. Well, first I threw the jig and crawler at him, and my crawler flew off. It's feeling big too. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be bigger than average. You just never know, man. This is gonna be such a, see what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, he's a long one. Look at that fish, man. I mean, butterball of a 25-incher right there. Butterball, that's a good sign though. It's gonna be a lot of this just feeling it out, feeling where, if we got potential, you know. Oh, there he goes. Not too concerned. He was 25 inches long. Good sign. That was a very good sign right there. On the search bait. He followed it a ways and then bit it. A lot of times if those fish just turn, like if you guys remember a lot of the footage we filmed on Lake of the Woods, those fish would just turn and boom. It's clear water, a lot of times they like chasing a lot more. So I do a lot more of that fast reeling to kind of get the fish to engage. That was a good sign though. That's what we wanted to see. Feels like being in the eye of the storm, you know. It's super windy this morning, storms rolling around. Now it's like flattened out. Heavy overcast. You can almost like smell the rain in the air, you know. Big mark. It's been probably 30 minutes since our last cast. Come on. Yep. Come on, baby. Man, was that a weird bite, dude. He just came into it, started just like whack, whack, whack. The rod never really loaded, and finally I was like, I gotta just set on this thing. Big head shakes. Big head shakes. You just never know, man. You just never know. It's a long one. Oh my goodness, man. If this is what we're gonna deal with today, we got a shot. Look at that fish. Holy smokes, man. Those are some damn nice fish for this area. When you can come out here and just key on 25s, plusers. Oh. It's just gonna be intense. These things just feel so much different when you're doing these, because you know, when you see a mark of that caliber, it just, you know, any of them could be that fish. That's a long one, man. That is a beautiful, long northern Wisconsin walleye right there. The search bait is cooking this morning. Look at that walleye for northern Wisco right there. Should we board our first one of the day just to set the baseline of what we're dealing with? That's that purple, I think they call it McMuffin or something like that. Search bait, moonshine glow on there. 25 3/4 right there. That's gonna do. This is the average size in which we need to be around in order to make it possible to see that next caliber of fish. If you come to some of these smaller northern Wisco lakes and you're averaging 24, 25, 26 inches, you're on the biggest caliber of fish in the lake. Then it's just a matter of getting that 1% of the 1% to show up. Oh, look at this. There's actually several on the screen right here. We're going for that big one though. Holy smokes. Yep. Oh my goodness, dude. Just like we thought, these fish are popping off this morning. Good big fish weather. This is feeling like the biggest one of the day. That was the reaction you want to see out of them when you throw a search bait over their head. There's actually several others. The reason I chose to go for that one is you can see these other ones on the graph right here. Those are potted up, which are normally smaller fish. This one feels like the biggest one of the day so far. I mean, look at this. Big mark, heavy, big slow head shakes. Oh my goodness, dude. This could be a big one. This could be, come on. Dude, I mean, this is feeling right for sure. Come on. Come on. This is the beast we want to play with. I'm actually shocked we got on these bigger fish this quick though. A lot of times you can look at a lot more basin. Granted, a lot of these little northern Wisconsin lakes aren't very big. Come on. Come on. I need to see you here. Where you at? I gotta get my net ready when he pops up here. Oh yeah, I saw him for a second. Good walleye. Good walleye. What a date. Oh my gosh, is he a thick one. Look at that fish, man. Yes. Oh. Man, dude, what a battle, huh? He's not 30, but I feel like slowly but surely we're just chipping away. You know, with each of these mid to upper 20s fish we get, our odds get a little better. That's definitely a longer one right there, man. That is certainly a longer fish. Look at that one. I absolutely love this search bait too. Generally speaking, outside of that first one, you hook them like that, they ain't coming off. You got them all the way in. What a beauty of a fish right there, dude, huh? Let's put him on the board quick. He's definitely our longest one so far. Where are we at? 27 3/4. New big fish. You know how rare that fish is up here? Such a rare breed of walleye right there, man. Stud. Stud. What does that put us at? Basically 2 1/4 more inches is what we need. Thank you, Big Mama, for playing with us. If you just sit here with them, kind of like a muskie, when this water's warm in the summer. I mean, this fish was by no means even close to too deep to catch, obviously. Just sit here with a second for them, and they come back perfectly good. 27 3/4, is that what I said? That is a long one. We're playing with that top tier of fish now. This is what you come out to the basin for. And one thing I see over time is that if you get in an area where there's tons of bundled up walleyes over basin, those are going to be 20 inches, 22 inches a lot of times. But if you look for those biggest single marks, those are the big bites. Those are those big roamers that don't play with the other ones. And I just don't know if there's a better bait to fish over basin than that right there. We've got so many questions on fishing this bait and everything. I could sit here and talk for 30 minutes about fishing a search bait, but we have 2 videos on the Walleye Now app. Get on there and just search the word search bait in the search tool right at the top. The search bait's 2.0 secret video. That's going to tell you everything you need to know about how to fish this thing and rig it every which way you want to be the most efficient with it. The other thing you can do, which isn't really talked about a lot, I run straight shank hooks on here, but if you want to get action out of this crawler, to get it to do that loopy circular thing that you get out of a slow death, put just a weird lump in it like that, right there by the bottom of the hook. And what you actually get is that whole worm. You guys see that? To rotate just perfectly like a slow death crawler would, right? And it spins on there just perfect. It looks dumb out of the water, but trust me on that one. It looks incredible in the water, even at slow speed. Just a massive system. It's just like barely holding off of us right now. I always get asked what kind of prefrontal, postfrontal weather change patterns are good. I can tell you the ones that are good. When you get a south wind and this front coming in just slowly, this big change coming in from a distance, and you get weather that looks like this: south wind, overcast, slowly progressing big front after long, stable, warm, consistent weather. That is spot on what we want. That's big fish hunting weather, muskies, walleyes, you name it. And when you get one of these fronts that crashes through after this big thing comes through, and you get real bluebird high gin sky type of weather where temp drops, super high pressure, no clouds in the sky, flat calm, that's normally really bad. Yep. Head shakes felt kind of tight. I took a couple casts. He was kind of moving a lot on me. Where you at, bud? Oh, he's nice. Kind of gave up. 24.5 incher right there. A little smaller one. Went a long ways between bites on that one. I mean, we're covering just a ton of water out here. Come here, buddy. Come here. Felt good when I set the hook. I really liked his interaction with the bait. It's just missing a couple of inches. Missing a couple inches on him. 4 inches, 6 inches to be specific. Beauties though, man. These fish are so old in these lakes. They're such an old resource. They take so long to get to this big giant size. Oh man, and a giant one is just so rare. Nice, we even kept our crawler on that one. Look where we're catching these fish right now. Those are Cisco's right there. Bait balls up high. I mean, random Cisco marks down here. Pretty crazy amount of life. This is the kind of bait we want to see though right here. These are the big greasy fish that as the day goes on, especially if you get sun, will pop up high into this zone in the water column. And that's where you'll start catching those walleyes, and that 20, 25 foot down above that big giant greasy bait. Right there. It is so cool, man, when you get them rushing up like that. Are you getting bigger? Oh my goodness, man. This is like the bite I've probably spent more time fishing. I feel like, you know, if there's one thing that is my strongest suit as a walleye fisherman, it's basin walleyes in these very deep, clear, natural lakes. I've basically spent the last 10 years fishing this bite. It's nice for at least one of these hunt for the ones to not have to start at ground zero each time. This one's not a giant, but he's nice. I mean, if you're going to these little northern Wisconsin lakes and you're averaging fish like this, I mean, you're doing as good as can possibly be done on these systems. Beauty right there, man. Search bait. I absolutely love that when you get them screaming vertically like that. Never would have believed years ago, when we used to just troll these basins for these same fish, that you could get a walleye just screaming vertically like a lake trout, just reeling super fast like that on the graph. Unbelievable. Such a cool and unique fish. That's one of the things that makes walleye fishing so unique, in my opinion, is there's very few types of fishing that there's so many different ways to catch the same fish in so many different situations. That's really what makes the sport, especially the walleye part of it, obviously just such a cool fish. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my gosh. Well, that was a rookie mistake. Well, that's why you don't, you should be checking your drag to make sure it's tight enough after your last fish. They're still out there. Is it still possible? See it start going away from me. A lot of times if you throw it past them, you can get them going the other way. He ain't gonna do it. Dang it! You messed that up, huh? What do we go, jig crawler? Oh man, did we ever burn those fish up. Well, we've kind of worked our ways into an area here where there's just not the same amount of life, which you see a lot. A lot of times you can get in those fish and you work and the basin's not like other areas where it's like, oh, the weeds ended, that's why we're not seeing walleyes anymore. You'll just eventually get to an area where you're just not seeing life or walleyes anymore. So we're gonna kind of go back kind of to that sweet zone. We've probably covered about 1.5 miles of water just zigging and zagging over it so far today. We're gonna go back to where it looked the best and restart. This is the old basin shuffle. I was listening to I don't know if it was an interview or what it was about, you know, one of the walleye teams that's always in the top of the column every event they fish. And they were talking about not finding spots, right? But finding areas that hold the right fish. And that's 100% what basin fishing is. It's not a waypoint. It's a stretch of a mile. It's a 500-yard stretch. It's a 300 by 300-yard box where it seems like the right amount of life is out here in the basin. That's 100% what it is. So if you're gonna come out here and do a bunch of this basin fishing, don't get locked into circling a waypoint. Get much more dialed into very big areas of seemingly flat bottom, and then look for fish in those areas. Gosh, is that a good one? Getting a little finicky on me. That was a big fish. Oh, and I hate just sitting on them, because a lot of times you'll see happen, these fish are so fickle in these lakes. You'll see them do that initial chase, they move a little bit and they just go down. It's like at that point the beam's been on them for too long, they know they're getting played with, and they just kind of tap out and sink down. Man, dude, they're just not responding the same. They just don't want anything to do with me all of a sudden. Oh, dude, something's just changed a lot. It ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's probably been about 2 hours. The last 3-4 I've cast that just been tough. I mean, don't want to play anymore. If you want a true test of will when it comes to walleye fishing, fish these super low numbers, low density, super clear, bait fish loaded walleye lakes in the Northwoods. Finding them is a small portion of the battle many times. They're so in tune with everything that's going on, to the boat, to the sonar, to little tiny bite windowy things. Big. Big. Come on, dude, we need to change things up here. Yep. Oh my gosh, dude, how are they not biting anymore? Oh my gosh, dude. Oh. 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 We're about to get clocked by this storm. You can tell the wind's just picked way up. Light rain. Front's about 20 minutes away. They're coming for hail. One of those tornado potential ones. I'm actually shocked at how bad the bite got out here. It felt so good right off the bat. It's just like, I don't know what happened. If it's just too much up and down weather. Not sure, but not good regardless. I mean, we saw a lot of nice fish. And basically the last 4 hours, nothing's bit. Grindy. Come on. Well, no more than turn the camera off and the heavens opened up. I got this week to film this northern Wisconsin hunt for the one. And we already had one rain day, so I'm already out one day. So now we fished 2 bodies of water, that first tiny little lake. Saw some decent fish in there. The lake we fished today, biggest one so far, 27 3/4. Tomorrow or the following day, I might be able to sneak out between storms, which I hate fishing between storms because normally the fishing's not good. We got dogs in the way. Stella, what are you doing? Sit down. Hey, you sit. But I think if we get just a little bit of stable weather, maybe tomorrow midday, and I can get over to this third lake, one of the 6 that I wanted to try, we got some potential. So I'm gonna clean all the rods off, re-rig everything, get everything back dialed in, and hopefully tomorrow we got a sliver of time which we can devote to finding a true giant. All right. Well, it's our final day. The forecast actually improved a little bit, and they're saying that we're gonna have 5-6 hours without rain here today. Potentially more, we'll see. It's one of these just post-frontal days, which I'm not crazy about. And drove a couple hours this morning, literally just stopped raining when we get here. I don't mind fishing in the rain, but the cameras can't handle the rain. So we're on a lake that has a confirmed 30-incher. Now, it feels like we're chasing an absolute ghost on this series, right? This is a fish that almost doesn't exist. This lake had one in it last year, meaning there's at least one 30-incher more than likely in this lake. And today we have to find it. It's truly beyond a needle in a haystack situation. We're gonna break this down real simple today. Basically, all I did is pull up to the biggest basin in the lake here, on the biggest deep water piece of structure on the lake. Hoping I can either find fish isolated off the edge or right on top of some of these deep fingers that lead out to deep water. Not gonna go too in depth with it today. I just gotta get on the bow mount and find something to make it happen. Probably been to this lake 3 times over the last 4 years, so don't have a lot of experience. Let's see what happens. Now, much like most summertime videos, gotta have a reaction bait. I got shiver minnows. Right now we got a big shiver spoon, the 3/4 ounce. We need a search bait, same one I fished yesterday. And we need some kind of fluke style minnow on a jig head in case these fish are real bait fishy oriented. So my gut feelings, it's one of these days where like too many fronts I've gone through, it's gonna be fickle. Ooh, 2 marks right here, sitting way up high. First opportunity to gauge what these fish are gonna be doing today. Flying. Ooh. Super hard chase, no bite. Super hard chase, no bite. Right there. Finally got one to eat. I don't know how big he is. Right off the bat though this morning, they are proving to be finicky. Finicky, man. Search bait, spoon. The only thing I'm getting any kind of chase out of these fish with is this fluke minnow. I got some kind of like Japanese thing on right now. Oh, it's a good one. Look at that, man. All right. Super fat 24 to start the day. There's big pockets of like just eater sized ones sitting out here just off the edge of a lot of this big structure. Beautiful walleye, not big enough. Good starting point though. Fat 24-incher. He's another one, look at him. He was surveyed this spring or last spring too. Fin clip on him. The way they do a lot of those surveys to estimate densities, they'll go survey one night, fin clip everything, and they'll resurvey the next night and see how many they recapture. And it's based on that. Ew. All right, we got something that's starting to work here. Beautiful walleyes. Now we gotta find a bigger one. Half of it's just getting dialed in. I figured those ones were not gonna be big as they were all potted up. Now we attempt to dial it in a little bit. Now that we got a bait that seems to be working. This could be big. Yep. Wow, dude, what a chase. What a chase. They might be starting to fire. Or we just figured it out. Fat. Biggest one of the day so far. Starting to gain some confidence. Jig. Plastic minnow. Run it away from him. Whoa. Look how fat and sassy that fish is, dude. Super nice summertime walleyes right there. Is this the part where we cue the intense music and start really throwing down, sorting out bigs, trying to find an absolute giant? Not gonna lie to you guys. Since that morning cloud cover, like fogginess burned off, maybe it's just the time of day, light penetration. Grinder, dude. I mean, we are on a lot of fish, looking at either deep structure or just off the deep structure for suspended ones. I don't know. I got my rod, my boat's a disaster right now. We got rods everywhere. We tried literally everything. It's either just gonna be a windowy thing or we're just gonna struggle the rest of the day. One of those two things is gonna happen, but I don't like it. Not good at all. He got it. Got him right there. Wow, are they finicky, man. Wow, are they finicky. That was a big mark, though. That was a big mark. Come on, baby. Show us something good. They just got so finicky. Oh, okay. Jig crawler. Oh my gosh, dude. Have we been just staring at them? Don't come off. We just had a little wind switch and it just pulled into the area where I've seen the most fish. Cast it at 2 marks, 1 chased hard, this one bit. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. I mean, it's still going, dude. Be big. Be big. We just gotta get one of these areas, man. Dial in on some of the right marks. This is gonna be a big fish, I think. Oh, big walleye. Nice walleye. Nice walleye. Look at that thing in the clear water, man. Yes. Oh. Talk about a slump buster, finally. Fighting crazy hard. It's probably a 25 incher. I'm not even gonna break the board out yet. White tungsten show jig, crawler. That's what we ended up having to resort to for that bite anyways. It feels like the kind of day where we might throw 15 things and sporadically get bit on each one. Because they are what you would call finicky. Beautiful fish though. Good build on them. You can certainly see how this lake could produce that magical fish for us. But it ain't gonna come easy. Got him right here. Holy cow, that looked like a good mark. Oh my goodness, dude, he dropped it. Oh, that's when you know it's tough. It's where we're seeing all these fish is a location which I call the big fish zone. If you look on your map here, you see it's generally what I call the big fish zone is everything outside of a big giant piece of structure. So you get on this big piece of structure. Now granted, a lot of times we spend time up in here, like on a little knob like that. And where we're actually seeing a lot of these fish is out here, off the edge, a cast length off of that main piece of structure. So if you come up here, I can look backwards. There's that break line. If I look out off the edge, boom, right there. There's a bunch of eater walleyes right there. Can you guys see it all right? Probably okay. And occasionally, obviously, I'm running into one of those bigger marks. Actually, a whole bunch of these bigger marks. Seemed like this morning it was a little bit just all over the place. Things were probably just flying around feeding. Now it's like nothing's really up top on it anymore. Everything's slid out to where that thing really breaks off, and then it's up high off the edge. Kind of the same depth they'd be if they were up on top of this, you know, 15, 20 feet down. Now they're just out off that edge, 15, 20 feet down, which is a super predictable spot to find walleyes. Our struggle today is just getting them to bite. It's a definite trend I've noticed over the years of fishing. That is, the more rods I have out at one time, the less fish I catch. Got him right there. Oh my gosh, dude, finally. Hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, baby. Oh, we needed that bite. And it feels big. It's hardly even really moving yet. It is such a grindy, like, it doesn't seem to matter what I throw, it's the same response. Come on. Looked big. There's two marks, two big doubles next to each other. Some lakes you'll just see. Oh my goodness, dude. You'll see big fish run in pairs in some lakes. I've seen it a lot on a few different, especially like reservoirs a lot of times. It's like you'll see wherever there's one really big one, there's another one like close to it, which is bizarre, but this feels big. Come on. It makes it even more stressful on these days. I mean, look at this fish, dude. It's just like sitting there on me. Got just a jig on, so I'm just gonna keep them fairly loose here. Most of the time you stick them with a jig, I mean, fingers crossed you're not gonna lose them. Come on, girl. We need something today. We need something today. Feels heavy. It looks long. Come on. Jeez, man. I mean, we're dealing with the upper end of fish, for sure. Come on, dude. Show yourself. All I saw was just like color down there a ways, and it looked long. Pull you up. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. Oh yeah, it's super nice one, dude. Look at him. Come on. Just doesn't want to give up. Unreal. This is one of those lakes where it's like fish fight exponentially hard, it seems like. Come on, dude. Pull you up, pull you up. Oh yeah, super nice fish. He's hooked kind of wonky, that's why he fought so ridiculously hard. There we go. Oh my gosh, dude. We'll board him because we need to board one. He's not the one, but man, dude, are they making us work. 25 incher. I don't know if that's the best one today yet. It's a beautiful northern Wisconsin walleye. It is, however, not the one we've been dealing with. I mean, for a northern Wisconsin walleye fishing week, we have dealt with so many of these high quality, like 23 to 26s. And it's pretty surreal because, I mean, that's about as good as fishing can get up here. Obviously, what we're doing, though, is chasing a fish that essentially doesn't exist. Got him right there. That looked good. Got him right there. Of all the lakes we've been on, I'm convinced this one has the best potential and by far the most amount of fish I've seen in any of these 3 lakes in a night crawler. Dancing it. Well, I guess you can't win them all, right? The unfortunate news is tomorrow morning I gotta be 7.5 hours the other direction. A couple things I feel confident in. One, we were around the biggest fish in the lake. On each lake we fished a pattern that yielded me the largest potential size. We pretty much fished every second we had and spent it on the best big fish water we could find. Now we kind of saw tough fishing everywhere we went this week. Nowhere we went was it necessarily easy for any duration of time. It's just a numbers game to get to that one special fish. So you can call this one a fail. I'm gonna call it a to be continued. But I wanna thank you for making my job possible, for liking, subscribing, doing out, commenting, everything you guys do. And a huge thank you for watching another Hunt for the One.